Blog Talk Radio.
LizyT Radio Show.
Canadian show, North American radio show, and now worldwide show, the LizyT Blog Talk Radio Show. She wants to know who you are, what you do, your contact info, anything new. And now, welcome the amazing LizyT.
Hello, and welcome, everyone. I am your host, and yes, your producer of the LizyT Radio Show. We are here today live, another live show. My goodness, yes, we are live today. Is Tuesday, February 25th, 2014. Now, what's going on? Is me, or am I feeling that the time is just flying by, and we are just it looked like it was just the other day, Christmas and New Year's and January, and now look at this, it's the end of February. And I'm here in Toronto, Canada, as all of you know. Today, as I mentioned to you, I have prepared an amazing show with a very fantastic and a very interesting guest. And how can I disappoint my listeners? And I do that because of you. You are the one that are supporting my show. You are all over the world. And yes, you heard it right, all over the world. We have people listening to us, everyone, in Australia. So good morning to my Australia listeners. We also have people listening to us in South America, Central America, Jamaica, Netherlands, here through our 10 beautiful provinces. We also have people listening to us throughout the United States and Chicago. This is where I guess it's from, which is patiently waiting on the other line. Washington, D.C., Texas, huge following in New York, especially in the Long Island area, Kansas. Also, we've been expanding. We have listeners in Italy, Europe, and Turkey, and a huge following in England. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for being part of the LizyT Radio Show, supporting us. So now that my housekeeping is all pretty much taken care and I talked enough, I want to make sure that we give a chance to my awesome guests to be talking. But before I bring him on, here is a little bio.
Sarantos. Sarantos has been writing lyrics since grade 4. He is passionate about words he puts to music. Music was always in his blood. Music was always a passion and much more than just a hobby. Sarantos has written over 2,000 songs. Sarantos is finally released in his long-awaited and eagerly anticipated first solo artist music album on November 18, 2014. Sarantos' music has received rave reviews. So far, he established this chance to pursue his lifelong dream. Sarantos' unique sound has been best described by the industry insiders as an emotional, powerful vocal style masterfully united with music that is fusion of classic 80s rock blended with modern rock and pop music. By having undergone several personal challenges with Sarantos' father's passing away 2 years ago after a long, hard, tough battle and lung cancer. Sarantos' main devotion is to raise money for charity. 33% of any music-related sales are going straight to charity. Sarantos has always been inclined to help people in need and is proud to launch this CD as a way to donate a portion of proceeds to charity. The 11 charities he has chosen for each song includes American Cancer Society, American Lung Association, Make-A-Wish Foundation, American Red Cross, and many others. Sarantos' goal and mission is whenever you hear a song, you feel the need to dance and move to the groove.
And without further ado, here is Sarantos. Hello, hon, and welcome to the LizyT Radio Show. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
Fantastic, and thank you again for being part of the LizyT Radio Show, to being part of this network. And I always like to start my show just to make sure that my guests are comfortable, and not that you have to feel intimidated or anything like that, and be put on the spot. So tell us, what's your favorite drink?
I didn't quite hear you, Lizzie. My favorite what?
What's your favorite drink?
My favorite
What
drink?
do you like to drink?
Yes.
Yes.
You know, honestly, it's a pretty simple answer, and you're not going to believe it, but water. I'm not.
Awesome.
I'll occasionally drink 7-Up or Sprite, but most of the time I try not to drink too much pop. It's usually water or milk.
Awesome. And you know what? It's here at the LizyT Radio Show, and we had guests. I had over 200 guests throughout the 2 years, and we've had anywhere from pina colada to beer to milk, my favorite, which is the one that I drink, lemon water, and just plain water like yourself. So thank you so much for playing along, and thank you so much for participating. So let's get into the nitty-gritty. So let's get into you, Sarantos, the musician, the artist, the songwriter. So let's give a little bit of background. Let's go back. I mean, you started playing, and you started since you were in grade 4. But what would you say gave you the inspiration? What draw you into becoming a singer and a songwriter?
I think, well, first of all, let me just say thank you again to having me on your show. I really appreciate it. I think, you know, when I was in 4th grade is the earliest that I can remember actually writing songs. I started dabbling in it before that, and my family was always very musical. We'd always have music on. We'd always be listening to music, and I just always had a passion for it. Obviously, I think that it's an expression of your soul, and I think that, to me, it was always very important. And I can't tell you exactly one moment where it began, but I just always loved music, and I just decided to be a musical type person. And I think lyrics, some people pick up a guitar, some people pick up a drum set, but to me it was always about words and the music, and I think lyrics were always my biggest passion.
Fantastic. And I find that between musicians, they always had that within them. Somebody who writes, somebody and by listening to my guests, every time I receive a guest, if they were a writer, they always wrote. They always had little poems, little things. And if you were a musician, you always sang since you were a child. So it's something that it was inscribed in you, and this is fantastic. And I applaud you, and I salute you, and I take my hat to you that you're able to pursue that throughout your career, throughout your life, because some people, believe it or not, I mean, they gave up. They decided this is just a dream that is not going to go anywhere. But people like yourself, I love that they are going with the dream and then pursuing it, whatever it takes. And on that note, what inspires you? Can you tell me where you get your inspiration? I mean, you are a writer, not just a singer, but you're also a writer. Where'd you get your inspiration?
I can get my inspiration almost anywhere. I mean, I can be working out at the health club, and whether I'm listening to music or whether I'm just watching TV or listening to the radio, I might walk by and someone says something, and I think I've always been very receptive to it, but I can get my inspiration anywhere, and I've always been able to empathize. So I think I can, even if I write a song about breaking up with your girlfriend, that might not have anything to do with me personally. I've always been able to empathize and put myself in other people's position. So some of the songs definitely are about me and my life, but some are about me putting myself in someone else's shoes and writing a song about, could be something specific or general, but I can be inspired almost anywhere to write a song. I mean, some days I can write 10 songs, so anywhere.
Fantastic. You are listening to us, to the LizyT radio show. We are live today. It's not a live show, not a recorded one. It's live. So if you're interested in interacting with us, don't be shy. Give us a call, 646-378-1975, or you can write a question or a comment right underneath my fan page. There's a link to Sarantos. We're here with Sarantos. He's calling us all the way from Chicago, United States, and he is talking about his love, his music. He is inspired by everything he likes, and that's very important on a musician, is to have that inspiration. So how would you describe, or how would you categorize your style of music?
I think my style, if I had to pick a genre, it's a blend of pop and soft rock, and I think the basic way that I kind of envision my music is it's the image of a classic 80s rocker, and he was brought to the present era in a time machine. And maybe he stayed in this era for 6 to 12 months. He lived here. He played in this era. He listened to the music. And the end result of him being here after a year is the music that I create. So this is kind of what I envision and what I think the fan experiences when they listen to my music.
Now, I take that you are very, very inspired and by the 80s. I mean, you probably are the same age as me, and I don't want to give my age away, but it looks like we were influenced by the 80s. And when I was listening to your YouTube channel, Sarantos, I noticed that influence of the 80s, which is actually, this is one of my favorite songs as well. And I will be playing that song later on, right after the interview. So what do you think that people are into? Why do you think people are into your music?
I think one of the Los Angeles media members, I think, really hit it on the head when he described the music as emotionally powerful vocally, and it's united with music that's a fusion of 80s rock with modern soft rock and pop music. And that's really what I've been trying to create. And I think the other thing that is unique about me is every song sounds a little different. You can't really pigeonhole my sound or the music and say it all sounds the same, which when most musicians get famous, I think after an album or two, people kind of think, oh, and I'm not going to name any names, but people kind of say, oh, that's a typical, stereotype for their song. And I always want it to be a little different. Even vocally, some of the effects I use in my singing style, I try to make it different. So I don't want people to ever get bored and say, this is another Sarantos song, they all sound the same. And the flip side to that also is the lyrics. So I think the lyrics, it's not always about heartache. It's not always about, the songs are all very different, and some are general themes, but some are very specific themes that talk about, very specific items. So I think it's diverse.
Right. This is your host and the producer of the LizyT radio show. We are live today, and we have a fantastic guest all the way from Chicago, one of my favorite cities in the States. And he is talking about his music. His name is Sarantos, and he can be reached. And you know what? I will be asking that question. Sarantos, the LizyT radio show is all about, tell us who you are, what you do, which you're doing a beautiful, fantastic job. Contact info. So where can my listeners all over the world reach you? Can you please go ahead and give your website and your phone number? Where people are listening in Canada. Perhaps you could be playing in Canada, in Toronto. You never know. Can you please go ahead?
Sure. The main website is Melogia.com, which is spelled www.melogia.com, and you can listen to all the songs and watch the videos for free there. But obviously, I'm really into social media, and you can find me on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube if you search Sarantos, which is spelled Sarantos, and or Sarantos Music. But you can also find me on Reverb Nation, on pretty much any music site, SoundCloud. And the one unique thing about me is I don't have any marketing agency, and nobody does my social media. It's all me. So if you send me a comment or a post on Facebook or email, I respond personally myself, which is a great way. I love interacting with the fans.
And that is a very big job in itself. I have to admit that I just recently have had to hire a VA to help me part-time with my emails and my social media. So if you're still doing that on your own, my goodness, my hat goes to you, and congratulations for taking, being able to socialize, to network with your fans. That is fantastic. Now, I have pasted, ladies and gentlemen, right underneath the on Blog Talk Radio Plus on my fan page and social media, YouTube, it's all connected, the link for the website. So I just have done that. Is Melogia.com. Now, it's a Greek name. Can you tell us about what does it mean? I'm very intrigued, and
Sure.
I'm sure my listeners are as well.
Sure. So my name Sarantos basically means, it's the Greek way to say Sam, which is my name. And the website Melogia basically means with words. And I thought it was an interesting play on melody, so that's why the website is Melogia.com also.
That is very interesting, and I take you probably are from a Greek background, isn't it?
Correct, yes. You caught me.
That is awesome. I did get you. So you're listening to us to the LizyT Radio Show. If you just tuned in, we are here live. Is February the 25th, Tuesday, and it's our time. It's the LizyT Radio Show. We are here live with Sarantos. I will be playing his song right after the interview. I can't wait for you to comment on his wonderful song, which is actually called, and I have it written down, and I will tell you as soon as we play. I have one more question. I actually have a couple more questions for you, Sarantos. One thing that intrigued me about your bio, and I don't know if you feel comfortable talking about this. You had, and I'm really sorry about your passing, but you had a really awful experience of passing away of your father, and I find that you are willing to give back to charity 33% of the proceeds to charity. How do you manage that? I mean, what triggered? Can you talk? Can you elaborate? Can you talk on that?
Sure, absolutely. I've wanted to pursue music as a career many years, and I do have a full-time job, and I've been doing it on the side, and it's a passion. I don't consider it work. And a couple of years ago, my father passed away after a long battle with lung cancer, and I kind of, I went through the typical grieving process, and about a year later, I just decided, enough with the waiting. He would have wanted me to do it. And I just finally decided that this was it. I was going to put together an album. I was going to do this and share my music and my vision with the world. So I think my father's death really inspired me that life is too short and you just got to do it. Mm-hmm. And what I also decided to do, like I said, I do have a full-time job where I help people on a daily basis, and I decided I really want to do this for charity. And I can hopefully raise a lot of money for charity. So I decided that I'm just going to donate 33% to charity. And what I did is I chose a different charity for each song. So for the first song that was released in January, I chose the American Cancer Society. And if you watch the video and you look at even the whiteboard video, you'll see the play and why I chose that. So each song I kind of chose a charity that I think has a good story or a double meaning to that song. And then for the second song that was released this month called Nothing to Hide, that charity is the American Lung Association. I personally myself did deal with asthma for the last couple of years, and I've been controlled the last year. So again, the double meaning to that song is you shouldn't have to hide your inhaler. I mean, when I had to take my inhaler, I would be shy and embarrassed, and I'd go to the bathroom to take it. And I don't think anyone with asthma should have to do that. So there's again, it's my way of giving, and it's also my way of sending a message that these stigma that society has, we really shouldn't.
Wow. I have to applaud you. My goodness. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. Not only your dad, and I am really sorry for the passing of your father, but you were able to be awakened. And sometimes it takes a trauma like that. It takes a situation, an awful situation for us to be awakened, like I said, and realize that our life is short here on this planet, and we have to make the best out of it. And if your dream, your passion, what you love most is singing and writing, I think, and I hope I'm not being presumptuous, but I think your father wanted you to do this and for you to be able to give back, not only your art, helping yourself by doing what you love to do, but you also giving back to 11 charities, and wow, that is so beautiful. And here at the LizyT radio show, Sarantos, we are more than supportive of your craft, of your music, and we will be playing it, not just today, but we'll be playing it on and on. I have shows every day, and we always looking to support new artists and people that have that amazing passion like you have, so congratulations. Now, also, I want to talk about your songs. You have a song. What is your latest album that you just released?
Sure. So I'm trying to do something a little differently than the conventional music industry nowadays. So the CD is going to be released November 18th of this year, and it's called Not Where I Want to Be. And what I've decided to do, I really want to interact with the fans constantly. So I decided the first Tuesday of every month, starting in January, I'm going to release a song. And the second Tuesday of every month, I'm going to release the music video for that song. And the third Tuesday and fourth Tuesday, I'm also doing something with other videos that I'm releasing. But my intention is every month the fans are going to hear a new song, a new video, leading all the way up to November when the CD will come out. And I think it's a unique way to kind of keep them engaged. Most bands that I've followed or seen through the years, they release an album every 2-3 years. The big labels market it, and then the fans kind of buy it or they listen to it. They like one or two of the songs on the whole album, and then they just repeat the process. And I didn't want to do that. I wanted to put my heart and soul into each song and release it and get the fans' interaction every month. And then obviously the CD is going to come out in November. So that's what I'm doing.
Fantastic. And I have a little comment here. I have Samantha from England saying she appreciates what you are saying because she also has a dream, which is to pursue music, and you just had awakened her to that dream. So, see, you were inspiring people, my listeners all over the world. So thank you so much, Samantha, for putting that comment and sending us this email. If you are in the Toronto area, it is 7, almost 8 o'clock. In England, it's 4 o'clock in the morning or maybe earlier. So we have people that are listening to us all the way from England. You can send us an email at radio@LizyT.ca. Again, the email is radio@LizyT.ca, and Samantha has emailed us from England. So you can send me or a question or a comment, and I will be happy to pass it on to Sarantos. Sarantos, I ask my guests a question, and you are not going to be the exception. And, I mean, you did touch a little bit on the dream and why you're doing this and why you continue to support it, to continue to support yourself in this industry, which is, let's be honest, it is a little bit tough. So for people that are listening to us all over the world, and somebody who is saying, well, he has, means because he has an income or you brought Lizzy, this famous singer that is doing it, and I don't have those means and I don't have the condition. Those are buts. I call them buts. And I want to hear from you, Saranto. What would you advise to my listeners? Somebody has that dream just like you have. What would you say to them to encourage to keep going, to keep a dream? Can you please share it with us?
Sure. I think, first of all, it's never too late. I don't care if you're 80 years old or 15. I think you should follow your dream. But I do think you should try to be realistic. I know a lot of people in the United States, even if they're 16 or 20, they just decide to move to Los Angeles and they decide that they're going to pursue their dream, but they're not really realistic. I think you do have to hone your craft, so it doesn't cost any money to write music, to write lyrics. And there's many resources available on the Internet where you can get critiques There's things you can read. There's videos you can watch to keep honing your craft and keep getting better at it. And if you decide you want to pursue acting or music or anything, you can do it, but you should try to have a part-time or some kind of job where you can support yourself while you're doing that. So I think, I understand that people don't have means, and I've been in that situation too. But like I said, it really costs almost nothing to buy a notepad and write a song. And I think you just got to follow your dream, because you do not want to become 30, 40, 50, 60 years old and have regrets. It's okay to swing for the fences and miss, but if you never take that swing, you're just going to regret it later on. And I think ultimately you're going to be unhappy, and no one should be unhappy.
Fantastic. I love this. And 3 things that I got from this, ladies and gentlemen. But if you just tuned in and if you just haven't heard anything at all, Sarantos has just given us 3 amazing pieces of advice. Never too late. It's never too late. It doesn't matter if you're a musician or an artist, a writer, my goodness, it doesn't matter. You can do this, and you can pursue whatever is it that is in your heart, is your passion. Be realistic, and it's true. If you need to get a part-time job, if you need to support yourself somehow, keep the dream going, and it's follow your dream. It's never too late. Oh, my goodness. I love this. I love it. And this is what I do at the LizyT Radio Show, everyone. It's just to support you, to support your craft, to support people all over the world that have this dream, just like I had one day to do the LizyT Radio Show, and here I am interviewing people from all over the world, telling their wonderful and amazing stories. Sarantos, I want to thank you so much for being part of this amazing network, being part of the LizyT Radio Show here all the way from Toronto, Canada. Hey, and you never know, there might be a stage just around the corner here in Toronto. And again, I will be playing your song right after this interview, and I'll be playing the song on and on. And, hey, we wish you the greatest success. Any last word?
Well, first of all, I want to say that I'm very humbled to the person that sent you that message in London, and if I can affect or make a difference in anyone's life, it makes it very worthwhile. And I do want to thank you again for having me on the show. And I guess my last comment is that I did get accepted to come up to Toronto for the Canadian Music Week in May. So I will be playing at the Toronto Music Festival up there, so hopefully I can meet and greet a bunch of your fans.
Oh, congratulations. My goodness. And you know what, Sarantos, we are definitely going to have to meet. That is a for sure thing. So congratulations. Thank you again for being part of the LizyT Radio Show. And here is everyone, the song from Sarantos, which I had just pasted, by the way, on my fan page right underneath the interview is Facebook.com/LizyT Radio. The song is called Not Where I Want to Be, and I know you are going to enjoy it.
I'm turning 30 tomorrow. Dream of every night. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm still the same old me.
And that was a song from Sarantos, all the way from Chicago in the United States. And thank you so much, my friends in the States that are really looking into the LizyT Radio Show. And my goodness, he will be here in Toronto playing for us.